Hey all, Altarian here with another review. Today we'll be taking a look at the USS Honshu. This is the Nebula class, issue number 23 in Eaglemoss's Star Trek Starships line. And it was a ship I did have some high expectations for because it is so similar to the Enterprise D, and the Enterprise D was just amazing. So I did have high expectations for this ship, and it did live up to it. I do think it did live up to those expectations. It is a very, very nice ship. It is pretty much the same size, like dimension-wise, like the saucer and everything is pretty much the same size as the Enterprise D, because it is a kit bash basically from Next Generation. So we're gonna do a quick comparison with the Enterprise D, so you can kind of get an idea as to how they look together here. As you can see, the Nebula has a grayer paint scheme versus the Enterprise D, which has more of a white color. So we'll try to get this thing off its stand. So as you can see, take a closer look here. Get off. Get off. Stupid face. Come on. There we go. Alright, so as you can see here, there is the difference in the base color. The Enterprise D, like I said, is more of a silvery, whitish color, whereas the Honshu is gray. But the Honshu does still have some of that nice Aztecing that the Enterprise D does have. So, like I said, saucer is very similar. The nacelles in the secondary hull are pretty similar. The Nebula's is a little bit different, but it is very, very similar. And the nacelles, of course, are identical, because, again, the Nebula in the show was just a kit bash of the Galaxy class. So, very similar ships, very cool ships. I am very happy with this Nebula class. It's never been my favorite class of ship. The Nebula is not even close to being one of my favorites. But it is a pretty decent ship, and this is a very good representation of the Nebula class. And like I said, we'll take a close look. Like so, you can see some of that nice Aztecing, subtle Aztecing on there, which is nice. It doesn't really come across too well on the gray, but it is there. You can kind of see it there. My windows are a bit off on this one. You can see that in here. My window paint is a little off, but again, that's not too big of a deal to me. Here we have the pod at the top with some nice texturing and some nice details on there. The cool thing about the Nebula class is this pod could be switched out to different things to give the ship different like uses, different applications. So here we have it from the front, and as you can see pretty clearly here, mine does have a pretty bad nacelle wonk going on here. This thing is not even at all compared to that one. And that is one issue that I have with this ship, is that the nacelles are wonky on it. I don't know how universal of an issue that is, but mine does have it pretty bad, so that was kind of upsetting. I tried bending it back, but it just did not work. So here's the bottom here. It's the USS Honshu. The registry, and again, a lot of the nice window details, a lot of the nice escape pods, and then a lot of the nice Aztecing that you can see going on here. So this is just as good as the Enterprise D is, I feel. It's definitely a very, very good ship. And here from the back, again, you can see this nacelle on the left. This guy is a bit wonky, and you can't really fix it. It doesn't really bend very easily. You can't like bend it back into place. I have tried multiple times, and it just does not work. But overall, it's a really nice ship. I am very happy with it overall. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you like this class. If you like the Nebula class, this is an excellent representation of it. For $20. Like I said, I don't know how universal the nacelle issue is, but other than that, it is pretty good. It's based on the CG model, not the actual physical model, because you can tell by the deflector. It doesn't look like the physical model's deflector did, so it's based off the CG version, which isn't too big of a deal to me. It looks pretty good. I am happy with it overall. So like I said, issue 23. Metal, the die cast, it's kind of hard to tell. Again, the rim of the saucer, just like the Galaxy is die cast. This bottom feels die cast, but I don't think it is. The secondary hull is die cast, the nacelles are die cast, and the pod at the top here is die cast, or not die cast, these are all plastic, sorry. This is all plastic. The saucer rim is metal, and then I think this bottom part is metal too. It feels metal. So it has a pretty good metal to plastic ratio. This stand is a bit weird. It fits, like this part fits really well onto the ship, but the base, like it gets loose, and it falls off pretty easily once it gets loose. Like it'll sit on there pretty well, but if you mess with it even a little bit, it just starts falling forward. So it's a little testy with the base. But overall, a good ship. Issue 23. I'm very happy with it. And I'll be back here on Monday with the review of the Xindi Insectoid ship, which is my last Eaglemoss ship that I'll have probably for a month or so. So got to figure out what I'm going to do after that. So thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, please subscribe, and I will see you on Monday.